It's making me nervous.
今日のね、夜ご飯第216円だよ。だね、パスタミートソースが一番好きです。なんで、これスーパーの箸だから無料だし。いきます。
Sorry, I couldn't concentrate on my food because I had to keep an eye out for bugs wandering into the pot, which surprisingly didn't even notice the fresh food being cooked right in front of them. They went in every direction that wasn't food. Someone said a collab with Haritsu would bring back the bubonic plague, or would it actually create super evolved white blood cells? Her videos are a weird combination of calming and anxiety-inducing. It's like if you took a cooking ASMR video and green screened it into a unlivable home.
200円ちょいって高い方だよね。まあでもたまには、2日連続、昨日とで2日連続で最後に使うんだから、もうこれで何作るか分かるよね。これはね、ちょっとね、フォロワー10万人達成した記念にカレー食べたいなぁなんて。だから野菜が玉ねぎと人参、メイクとニンニク、食後がミュージアムにカレー。こんなにこちらで前買ったやつなのに。
I'm assuming she's used to living like this. There's not a hint of fear in her voice. And does this pod also have bug-repelling force field properties built into it? What the heck kind of advanced products are Japanese people making? She's also gaining a cult following herself, with her TikToks getting millions of views. The audience reaction, based on the comments, is usually confused, scared, worried, and fascinated, since her demeanor doesn't really match her lifestyle. I think the brand she's going for is a subculture in Japan called Jirai-K, or landmine style, an aesthetic that combines cute feminine gothic fashion with someone who is on the verge of an emotional breakdown. Some people only wear the fashion, while others embrace the entire lifestyle. She even did her own cosplay of landmine style makeup. I think it might be a parody, but I'm not sure. After watching a bunch of her content, I'm starting to wonder if this is actually real or some kind of social experiment. I use Google Translate to read her bios and captions since it's all in Japanese, so take this broken English with a grain of salt. Concurrent viewership is #1 in Japan. The most entertaining and genius streamer in Japan. Unauthorized reproduction prohibited. Legal action taken. There are even comments questioning if she actually lives in this house. First of all, how would she even sleep? Second, do bugs need sleep? It's hard to say for sure if this is a cosplay of someone with a really strange lifestyle. If it is, then interesting. You definitely have people curious about the character you're playing, but if she's actually going through something, is the audience that she's building enabling her unhealthy behavior, or is this just a simulation? Or will this be another moldy rice to riches story? All jokes aside, no one should be thinking this is a lifestyle to strive for. A little bed rotting here and there in moderation is okay, as long as you can pick yourself up afterwards. These extreme cases of gaining a following by living in a garbage house are rare instances of someone getting famous by showcasing their bizarre lifestyle, when in reality, there are a lot of people struggling like this without the money and fame. It's very fascinating, and I'm seated for some more plot development. Do these people end up cleaning their houses and getting their life together? Also wondering, is this the secret to turning your immune system into an impenetrable fortress? Because how are they still out here looking normal? I'm surprised they're not turning green, like a Sims or that green lady from Wicked. They must have plus 100 and poison resistance or something. Spending 5 minutes in any of these houses would have me feeling nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea. Hey, that's abysmal. Do you know what else can prevent you from getting sick? The YouTube algorithm. Don't forget to give this video a like if you enjoyed the content to see more of my videos. You'll also get a +2 stat boost against germs, toxins, and the common cold. Disclaimer, percentages can vary based on individual experiences. Have a good day, try not to be dumb, and see you in the next one.
はい。
Where did you get? Hi, I'm Gooby from Gooby Dooby.
This is easily one of the most requested sneakers to get the Roseanne chop treatment because people want to know how could you charge $900 for a pair of sneakers. So we're going to cut these things in half and run through our test to finally settle if there is anything on the inside that points to these being worth anything more than just a regular pair of Adidas or Nikes. How much do I think this would cost if it didn't have the Gucci name? How overpriced are these actually? Are you dumb for buying a pair of $900 Gucci sneakers? Because a lot of people see the price tag and a luxury brand name and assume it's quality because that's how a lot of these luxury brands built their name several decades ago, including Gucci, because in 1921, inspired by his experience as a porter at the Savoy Hotel in London, Gucci establishes the Gucci brand as an artisanal luggage brand in Florence, Italy. But then by 1935, Mussolini led an invasion to Ethiopia, which immediately just put a huge crunch on the economy, especially leather imports and leather goods. So Gucci was forced to introduce new materials like canvas, which led to the creation of the diamante fabric and became the emblem for Gucci. In 1937, Gucci launches its handbag collection, and then just a couple years later, World War II was in full swing and Gucci made some boots for the Italian infantry. But during the post-World War II Dolce Vita time, when Gucci was really starting to flourish, Gucci divided the shares of the company to his three sons and launched the first global tagline and one of the most iconic taglines for Gucci, which is quality is remembered long after the price is forgotten. But in 1953, Gucci dies in Milan, and this seems to be a tipping point for Gucci, in good ways and bad ways, because that same year they opened their first store in New York City, and Gucci spread its influence and notoriety across the international clientele of jet setters, Hollywood stars, dignitary socialites. Then through the 60s and 70s, Gucci continued to rapidly grow, opening 10 stores in the US, Tokyo, Hong Kong, the Middle East, and many more. Then if you look at the 80s, it's a whole other thing. There's nothing but family drama. There's movies about it. We're just going to say that for a future Gucci video because we don't have half an hour to go over it. But due to all the family drama and struggles, by the 90s, Gucci was really struggling. And Maurizio, one of the sons, sold his remaining 50% stake in Gucci to Investcorp, ending all the Gucci family involvement in the Gucci brand. And around that same time, Tom Ford was hired to revitalize the brand. And they had a chic revival. Then in 1995, Maurizio was shot dead in the lobby of Florence Gucci office by his wife. They're 16 years in prison for hiring a hitman to kill him. That's a whole other version of the Gucci drama. Then in 1999, the competing Louis Vuitton had gained majority shares of the brand, and Tom Ford sold 40% of his Gucci shares to the umbrella corporation of Cartier. Then through the 2000s, the 2010s, and up to now, they've been up and down. They've really established themselves as a mainstream brand, a household name. It seems like Gucci's been on this downward spiral of quality, but an upward spiral in popularity, influence, and price. Is that all just speculation? Is there any evidence to point to that this is still a quality product and it represents the Gucci that was founded by Gucci? And thanks to Blade HQ for sponsoring this video. It's a website that's just completely full of all the best knives, the best knife brands, and a huge selection. You've probably seen us talk about it on the Roseanne 2 channel. They send us a bunch of knives. A new version of the characteristic low top silhouette is presented in the latest collection, featuring unique details. A chunkier construction defines the shape, while the metal ace tag shines atop the lace-up closure. Gucci's distinctive green and red web stripe completes the style. If you want a pair of these, check them out the links in the description. So now let's start looking at the materials and see if we can figure out the quality and how much it's worth, because now that we've cut apart over $100,000 worth of footwear, like 400 or 500 different boots and shoes, we've got a full spectrum, anything from a $5 Amazon shoe up to a $900 full-cut Portland English-made sneaker. So first, how good is this leather? Well, right off the bat, it's just really thin. It's only 0.9 millimeters thick. It's a white chrome tan leather, and white leather is just tough to do regardless, because leather is really, really tough to get that really pristine, bright white color just by itself. You almost have to put the pigment over top, and that's really where the quality difference in white leather comes. Because if it's a really cheap top coat, it'll immediately separate from the leather and you get that bubbling effect. A higher quality white leather, it's really well bonded, it's really thin, so it doesn't need to separate as much, and it flexes and bends with the leather so you don't get that separation. So how does the top coat look on this? Well, it's a very soft and supple leather. It's definitely better than the Golden Goose leather we saw. It's better than some of the Nike, especially the New Balance cheap white leather we've seen. But because it's so soft, when you bend the leather, it wrinkles immediately. And once that top coat separates from that leather underneath, you're just left with those bubbles and those wrinkles that will never go away. And you can see even the little bit that we actually wore just in the B-roll, it's already separating, it's already getting those hairline wrinkles throughout because that top coat is already separated. which leads me to believe that it's a fairly cheap leather because a higher quality leather would not look like that right off the bat. You wouldn't be able to see that bubble formed by that separation. But I have to double check to see if it's plastic, what it is on top. We hit it with a lighter. It did shrivel slightly, so I think there is a little bit of like rubber or some sort of synthetic material in there, but it mostly just looks like a pigment. So then how does this white leather compare to other leathers? Well, it's just very average. You know, there's regular sneakers like the Adidas Samba. It is almost the exact same leather. Similar feel, similar wrinkling, similar thickness, and this shoe is like $90. So really not absolutely terrible, but we've seen significantly better leathers and shoes around that $200 to $300 price range where you're actually starting to see the premium Italian-made sneakers. But there's one piece of leather that might help this explain why it's so expensive. It's this green little tab right here that looks like alligator or crocodile. They all kind of look the same. So is it actually high-quality exotic leather? It is not. It's literally just cheap leather with an embossed print on top and dyed green, which is not crazy. You know, anytime you see gator on a sneaker, you're gonna assume it's fake. But this is a $900 sneaker. It's a premium brand, and if you're gonna charge $900 for a sneaker, your margins are so high that you can literally pack this full of premium materials, including the gator. There's not even much to it. It's just a little teeny piece. And what about the linings? There's some redeeming qualities on the inside because it is a true leather lining, where these two have a fake leather lining. Obviously, $900 versus $90. But is the leather on the lining at least decent? Is it redeeming this shoe in any way? Not really. It's pretty terrible leather again. It's like 0.8 millimeters thick, and it just immediately looks like granny skin. And the top coat it reminds me of another luxury brand, Kinsey cowboy boots. It's luxury for like cowboy boots. And it was shocking how terrible that lining leather is, and that's what this reminds me. The problem with that is it's such a weak and thin leather without a lot of structure that it can rip and split even in the lasting and manufacturing process. And so it is leather, which is good. I don't think leather, but for a $900 sneaker, just $900 quality lining, yeah. I would be really surprised to see this quality of lining in any shoe over $200. What about the insoles? There's at least something good about the insole aside from just giving you a short king lift like the Golden Gooses. Not really. You know, it's just a leather top, closed cell foam insole. It's just single density. It's a decent insole. Underneath is where this starts to get interesting to me because I see for $900 it was built somewhat premium because you can see a strobel stitch in there. You can see that the cup's a little sidewall stitched on, which is bare minimum what you'd want for a super high quality sneaker. But what's concerning is this lasting material underneath here. You can see it's got the Gucci logo on it, but it's like the exact same material that you get in like Adidas and like just with the Gucci logo and print straight there over top. Little side tangent to plug an upcoming collaboration because it's a common theme with these strobel stitch shoes, even the highest quality ones. They don't really ever have anything premium underneath the insole, and no one, as far as I've ever seen, has put the leather in the insole. So a little sneak peek of the Coil collaboration. We're doing a strobel stitch sneaker with the highest quality white leather you can find, the outer, the lining, and a leather strobel board, which I've never seen anyone do. So side shameless plug over. Yeah, it's just crazy that a $900 sneaker has like a Nike lasting material. And even more concerning is you can now feel underneath of that, the midsole, there's nothing to it except for literally the exact same structure as like the Sambas, where it's just a structured outsole, and a lot of times you see built up compressed cardboard or leather preferably at the heel so you don't sink in to those columns, giving you high spots and low spots. So that's kind of what happens. See if there's any redeeming qualities on the inside of the shoe. Maybe there's something in there. This is kind of it. This is your last chance to get a pair of the MD4s because anytime we do collaboration, there's always some cancellations. So we open the cancel. Okay, we got the $900 Gucci Aces cut in half. Just another reminder, just push that little subscribe button. It's free. That YouTube never shows you what you subscribe to. It's just a terrible algorithm now anyway. So, let's see what's inside.
Less time to pay, more time to play. Tap to pay, only on Android.
जेव्हा कधी मी थंड खायचे जसं की आईस्क्रीम मला झिंझिने आल्यासारखं व्हायचं आणि वाढतच चालला होता हा प्रॉब्लेम. आधी थंड पदार्थांपासून सुरुवात झाली, मग गरम पदार्थांनी व्हायला लागलं. तेव्हा जाऊन मी डेंटिस्टला दाखवलं. ते मला म्हणाले की तुम्ही सेन्सोडाईन यूज करा. आता मला फ्रीजमधून काही थंड काढून खायचे असेल तर दुसऱ्यांदा विचार विचार करावा लागत नाही.
So exactly like we expected, just a typical rubber outsole, 65 Shore, pretty poor bar drop score at 4 inches. The puncture test only took 67 pounds, and it is exactly like we expected. It's just like a Stan Smith or any just random affordable shoe outsole. There's no filling material. This lasting material for sure is the exact same stuff that you see in most sneakers. The counter's nothing special, the toe stiffener's nothing, but for $900 you get a thinner outsole than the Sambas, you get some fake alligator skin, you do get a leather lining, but we see that in plenty of $200 and under sneakers. It's a pretty terrible lining leather, and it's still better than both of these sneakers, but it's a lot closer to these sneakers than the actual $900 sneakers we cut apart. So how much do I think this would cost, this Gucci Ace, if it didn't have the Gucci name in it? For me, 120 to 150 max, and I feel like that's fairly generous. You could stretch it to maybe 200, but that's the absolute max. And I understand that luxury isn't about quality, it's about the look, the name, the exclusivity caused by the price. So to me, when brands like Gucci put their brand on that luxury pedestal and slap a luxury price on it, you better deliver more than Adidas quality. And that's when it starts to feel a lot more like a scam to me than anything else. And that's why we cut this stuff in half, so you can actually see what you're getting for $900 luxury sneakers. And are you dumb for buying a pair of $900 sneakers? To me, you are. It's just a walking symbol of how out of touch you are with the reality that most of us live in. But maybe it's just Gucci. Maybe some of the other luxury brands still maintain their core value and ethics that were established by their founder. So let me know which other luxury brands you want to cut apart. And I'm gonna start.
My name's Gary Stevenson. In 2011, I was Citibank's most profitable trader in the world. This is everything.
Quick disclaimer before we get started.
Today, I'm going to tell you a strange, dark, and mysterious medical mystery. And it actually happened really recently, and it's totally insane. There is not another... So this guy was arrested one day for going on a random crime spree, but something just didn't make sense. You see, Babaram Beal was seemingly a regular guy who didn't have an extensive criminal record. On paper, there really wasn't any reason why he would suddenly be committing all these crimes. But as it turns out, Babaram did have a reason, and it was actually the government's fault. Apparently, Babaram had a check in the mail one day when he was shocked to find his very own death certificate. Now, for some reason, the Indian government had marked him as dead in their official records. But although Babaram figured that he'd be able to easily correct this mistake, his local officials actually just refused to help him. Despite trying everything he could possibly think of, Babaram was simply unable to become legally alive again. And when he realized the government could actually seize his property and belongings at any moment, Babaram soon came up with a desperate idea. He decided that he would intentionally get himself arrested, so the government had to admit that he was alive. But even after committing a whole bunch of small crimes, he was still getting ignored. So that's when Babaram just lost it and showed up to a local school with a knife. He ended up wounding 3 adults and even held several people hostage. But since this just recently happened, it's still unknown what happened to him afterwards. So this guy was arrested one day.
A man encountered a muscular kitten. When he touched it, he found that the kitten's body felt like a balloon filled with air. The man decided to...
The birth management folks are back.
Here they come again, I'll hide up my parents.
This is the story of a report.
असं आहे की अवघड जागेवरचं दुखणे अंध भक्तांनो सगळ्यात महत्वाचं आहे. अंध भक्तांची अवस्था अशी आहे
जागतिक बाजार जेव्हा खाली येतात तेव्हा आपलाही बाजार इम्युन नाही आहे.
Morning, welcome, Big Back. Ooh, welcome back. Sorry.
वेलकम टू मास जब लाइव, मैं हूं मास जब आप देख रहे हैं फ्रेटर्नल ऑर्डर ऑफ पुलिस
What's good with y'all? I'm T. Sean. Hope y'all doing well. Tapped in. I advise y'all to start taking walks too. Really good for your mental, but I think so many people came to the realization of so many different things during that can I say I might as well try it. But during 2040, man, you had to kind of just be away from everyone. And it's crazy because 4 years later, nothing really seems the same.